Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. How the f do I make videos? Today we're going to be doing the top 8 for 2022. A little bit late doing this, but I've managed to get it out by January, which was technically my goal. I'm only doing 8 because I simply did not get as many figures this year as I normally do, and my normal rules prevented me from really fitting 10 on here. And speaking of those rules are, as always, the figures must have come out in 2022. No repaints or re-releases, and only one figure from each line from each company. For example, the Dragon Ball SH Figuarts and the Naruto SH Figuarts would count as different lines, to me. And one more thing before we get started, I'm going to put in an honorable mention for Marvel Legends Galactus, the HasLab release. I didn't feel right putting it on the actual list because I decided not to keep him, but he is actually really good. So if you want a Galactus figure, that's probably the best one you're going to get anytime soon, so go ahead and pick that up if you can afford one. Number 8 is NECA De Mona, which is the only domestic figure on this list. I believe that I had Goliath on my list last year. And she's basically of the same quality, just a different figure, and the best one that I've gotten from this line this year. The NECA line has been continuing slowly, and I think they've been doing a decent job, at least by NECA quality standards. And I imagine we're going to get the majority of the rest of the clan in 2023. If you were a fan of the cartoon, definitely a line worth getting into now when it's still getting started. Number 7 is the Dyson Karama. Dyson is a third-party company, and they've put out all of the main Yu Yu Hakusho characters recently. They're not amazing, but there also are not any other lines of Yu Yu Hakusho figures other than like the Nendoroids, which I have no interest in. So if you don't want to wait around in the hopes that some official 1/12 line comes out, you should probably pick these up because they are better and more readily available than the One-Shot Toys versions, which I also got one of a while back. Karama is my favorite character from Yu Yu Hakusho, which is why he's the one that's on the list. All the figures are honestly of pretty much equivalent quality. If I was just basing it on quality, I don't know which one I would have picked. They're all basically the same, but Karama is favorite, so he is the one that gets number 7. Number 6 is the Nendoroid Potato from Poi Poi Molcar. There's not a whole lot to say about him, but I only get Nendoroids that well represent the original aesthetic of whatever media they're from, and he does that very well. They even made him flocked, so he's got a bit of a fluffy texture to him. Not a lot of articulation, but he is a car. A few alternate pieces, and I think he's just a good-looking representation of the series. I believe they're going to be making a few more in the future. I'll probably stick with just having this one, but I'm sure they'll all be of equal quality. Number 5 is SH Figuarts Zatch from Zatch Bell. I think because it was the anniversary of this series, they decided to put out an SH Figuarts line, which has just started. They've released Zatch and also Kyo. Kyo could have easily made the place on this list instead of Zatch, but I decided to put Zatch here because he's the main character. They're both solid quality figures. I've had the Variable Action Heroes Victorine for ages, and it's nice to finally have some figures to actually go with him. And while I don't honestly expect this line to continue from this point, it would be nice to get some more later on. And if they do actually announce some more figures, I will probably buy them. Number 4 is SH Figuarts Piccolo from Dragon Ball Super Hero. Now this one is really close to being a repaint, as it is a very similar figure to the last time they released Piccolo, which I believe was number 1 on my list of that year. But he is technically a different mold, and I didn't pick up a lot of Dragon Ball figures this year, and Piccolo is my favorite character, so he gets the spot. He's also a really solid release. If you don't have a Piccolo, or if you just really liked Superhero and want Piccolo specifically from that, he's definitely worth picking up. I personally was not actually that big of a fan of the Superhero movie, but it's another Piccolo, and I like Piccolo, so here is Piccolo. Number 3 is SH Figuarts Sakura from Naruto. They recently restarted the SH Figuarts Naruto line, and so far all the figures have been good. You could honestly say that Sakura probably isn't the best one, but she is the one that didn't already have a figure, which makes her far more important to me and why I decided to put her on this list. She's generally well executed. I really appreciate all the comedy faces they're doing with the rebooted line of the Naruto series. And hopefully going forward they'll release more characters that they haven't actually made already. Because so far I believe Sakura is the only one that they've announced/released that has not already been made. Number 2 is SH Figuarts Yuda from Jujutsu Kaisen 0. There were a couple of Jujutsu Kaisen releases this year, but I think Yuda is pretty objectively the best one. He's well executed, comes with lots of bits, they made his faces look better than they did in the prototypes. Honestly, no real complaints. And I'm hoping for more Jujutsu Kaisen releases in 2023. Hopefully they'll make Mahito. That would make me happy. And number 1 is Figma Leo from Promare. Probably not surprisingly, I have Very Pretty Man as my number 1 choice. I think Figma did a really good job with this release. He's got better articulation than the average Figma does. I think he executes the style very well. Lots of little colorful accessories, and I like the little accented color painting on him. If you get the GSC bonus for him, he's got like a topless body. I didn't personally get that, but it's a cool little extra thing. And I honestly have no complaints about him. He's very pretty. He looks nice standing there with Gallo. And by the way, I didn't get Gallo until this year, but if I had had him last year, he would have probably been very high on the list for last year. And I think that's about it. I don't really have anything else to say. So that wraps up my top 8 list for 2022. Hopefully you like some of the things. I like some of the things. Maybe I won't go an entire year without making another video. Maybe I will. No promises. So until next time, goodbye! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my content, feel free to subscribe and click that little bell thing. I've been told that that does something or other. You can also give me money to buy toys at patreon.com/vrreviews, see pictures of toys at instagram.com/vrreviews, or see tweets about toys at VenomRaptor09 on Twitter. And I would greatly appreciate you doing any of those things.